Good morning friends and welcome to the pre-market view. US markets have been pretty good both on Thursday after our markets closed as well as on Friday. They were up and there were some encouraging statements coming out from the newly appointed federal chairman Janet Yellen that though on various fronts the economic revival is visible, but they would like to continue with the stimulus at least till they see a broad-based recovery in the economy. So early indications are that the tapering may get delayed and the stimulus may continue at least for the next 2 or 3 months, which is definitely a good news or a relief for the emerging markets. Also, European markets were up about 0.4% to almost about 0.2%, except Italy, which was down about 0.2% because of some domestic issues. And when we look at the Asian markets today morning, most of the markets are up. Nikkei is up almost about 0.44%. Hang Seng is up almost about 2%. And SGX Nifty is suggesting that we are going to open up around 6125. So if you put together 2 days of gains, effectively the Nifty would be up almost about 70 to 75 points. On Thursday, after almost about 6 to 7 days kind of a weakness, we've seen some smart pullback in our markets, primarily led by some of the banking names like Bank of Baroda, Axis Bank, few others really contributed to it. And also we had seen good amount of stability in some of the metal pack, particularly Tata Steel. So we think that given the global backdrop that we have, you might see a good open, and probably it will continue on its way up, and probably around 6180 or 6200 could work as a resistance for the markets. But overall bias for the market at this point of time is positive, and one could look at entering into some of the banking names, particularly something like an Axis Bank or ICICI Bank for a smart pullback from a short-term trading perspective. On that note, let me invite Shaival to take us through important F&O cues and ideas that we could have from the F&O side.
Good morning friends. Let's have a view at derivatives. Friends, in Thursday's trade we have seen that the Nifty opened with a gap of more than 50 points, and then it inched higher towards the mark of 6,100, and we have also seen during intraday basis it has surpassed the mark of 6,100, but it was unable to hold it for the longer period of time, as we have seen some profit takeaway by market participant came in at higher levels, and due to which we have seen that Nifty has closed or say ended Thursday's trade next to the opening with a gain of more than 1%. Now talking about the PCR ratio, the PCR ratio has further cooled off or say eased off from 0.96 to 0.95, as we have seen not huge amount of reduction taking place on the put side, but yes, a good amount of addition has been witnessed on the call side, which is currently visible on the options matrix. See, 6,000 put option stands with the highest number of shares in the open interest, followed by 5,900, whereas on the call side it's 6,300 strike, followed by 6,200 and 6,400 call option. So probably friends, our weekly VWAP is coming at 6085, and we've closed Thursday's trade just above this level. So our bias for the market is positive, and on lower side 6,000 might act as a support or say closing basis for the market, and on higher side probably 6,200 is the target which we'll be aiming for. Now today's SGX Nifty is suggesting an gap up opening, and which is close to 6,200, so we'll be watching closely these levels. Once if 6,200, which is a higher weekly range, has been achieved, then we'll revise that. From intraday perspective, one can go long on PTC by maintaining a stop loss of 57 rupees 50 paisa. Thank you.
Here are the important news and events that we are tracking today. First of all, JP Associates came out with their numbers for the second quarter. Numbers were not impressive, and the net profit in fact was 67.6 crore as against about 128 crore in the previous year. This was primarily led by the weak performance in the cement division, and the total income has actually gone up to about 3,027 crore as against about 3,300 crore in the previous quarter. So expect a quick negative reaction in the JP Associates stocks in today's morning trade. NMDC has kept its iron ore fines lumps prices unchanged, and the iron ore prices have been fixed for November at about 2610 rupees per ton and this is definitely in line with market expectations, so no major reaction likely. Some setback for the Reliance Power and Anil Ambani, as CBI has registered a preliminary inquiry into the coal allocation to the Sasan Power project in Madhya Pradesh. So this could be a bit of a negative for the Anil Ambani group and more so for Reliance Power. HCL Infosystem has decided to discontinue the personal computer manufacturing business and is going to focus more on the IT services and the hardware distribution part. And IDBI Bank is looking at raising almost about 12 billion rupees or 1200 crore rupees through a QIP in this fiscal year 2013 and 14. Sanofi's Indian arm has indicated that they are close to acquiring a controlling stake in the Elder Pharma's domestic formulation business for as much as rupees 2,400 crore. Coming to the stock specific ideas, Reliance Industries, some positive news as there are indications in the various media reports that the government could soon implement the cabinet's 4-month-old decision to raise the gas prices for all the producers, and further Reliance Industries will repair a third of the wells which has been shut at KGD6 basin. So some positive news for Reliance, so one can go long there with a stop loss of 835 and a target of about 878 to about 894. Ranbaxy, again some positive news as the company has plans to supply the India-made generics to Japan from the local facilities here. The Ranbaxy is yet to get the approvals from the Japanese regulatory authorities, but it's trying to get a foothold in that market to boost its consolidated revenue. So one can go long on Ranbaxy with a stop loss of 412 and a target of about 433 to about 441. That's it from all of us, friends. Have a good trading session and see you tomorrow at the same time.